Give me a second now. The answer for the first one is the third one, virus. Answer for the second one, number 2, Salvinia. Answer for the third one, all. Retina should be the answer. Retina is not given. Third one, all. Fourth one, Eustachian tube. Fourth one, answer is also the fourth one, Eustachian tube. Fifth one, answer is the first one. Sixth one, answer is fourth one, that is steam distillation. Seventh one, answer is first one, methane molecule. Eighth one, answer is first one, A and B only. Ninth, answer is fourth. 10th, answer is fourth. 11th, answer is third. 12th, answer is fourth. 13th, answer is first one. 14th, answer is second one. 15th, answer is third one. 16th, first one. 17th, second one. 18th, third one. 19th, second one. 20th, first one. Right, with that, I'm going to wind up the first part, not the class, right? First part of the discussion. Now we can have the interval. Let's join after 5 minutes, right? If you have any question, you can post it here. Disconnect in the moment, right? You know, disconnect, right? Right, let's start the discussion of the second part of the paper, right? It's also not that difficult. It's a choice for you, but let's quickly go with those. The following setup was arranged by a student to identify the electrolyte and non-electrolyte. It's a very simple setup that we use to identify electrolyte and non-electrolyte, right? Can you remember? We take a beaker, right? Two carbon electrodes are connected and a bulb is there. Battery is there, right? You fill this with the particular liquid that you want to know. If it conducts the electricity, bulb illuminates. If it doesn't conduct the electricity, bulb doesn't illuminate. It's a very simple thing, right? Kerosene, the bulb doesn't illuminate. Right? If you put or if you fix an ammeter here, milliammeter, you can see the milliammeter indicator deflects. The deflection can be seen, right? So kerosene, nothing, no illumination, no deflection of the ammeter. Salt solution, yes, it contains ions, so obviously that will show an illumination or deflection. Copper sulfate, again, yes. Distilled water, special, right? Usually the water contains some amount of ions, right? Ions take up here, but distilled water doesn't contain any amount of ions, so that is pure water, right? So it also doesn't deflect. Deflection. Name two electrolytes from the above solution: salt solution and copper sulfate. Because electrolytes, since they conduct electricity, right? Since they conduct electricity, they give an illumination. Electrolytes. A setup that is arranged to check the electrolysis of, for the electrolysis of acidulated water is given below. Right. It is drawn here, so I'm going to draw it. Explain how acidulated water is made. It is not explained in your book, but in the ingredients of that practical ingredients, the equipments required for that practical, they say small amount of water and few drops of sulfuric acid. You can take HCl also. Adding few drops of way of preparing, right? Adding few drops of acids, few drops of acids to water, What is the material used here for electrode? Black color within carbon. They have mentioned the name itself, right? Simple, carbon electrodes. Platinum use karana pulon platinum, but here carbon. Now that big platinum done. Explain why electrodes used here are considered as inactive electrodes. Because this is this carbon, right? Carbon do not react with the chemicals given here. They are dissolved in even, right? If it starts to dissolve, it's going to be a problem. Name the gases A and B. Positive terminal. That's how we go, right? Don't remember the side, left, right, side, right? Positive terminal is connected to tube A gas, that is oxygen. And negative terminal gives hydrogen. Negative terminal hydrogen. That is how to remember, right? Positive oxygen, negative hydrogen. A is oxygen, B is hydrogen. How can we identify the gas B? How do we identify the gas B? We should slowly remove the test tube from this setup and hold a glowing splinter here. And hold a glowing splinter. Then you can see or you can hear a pop sound. This burns with a pop sound. That is how to identify. calculate the density of coconut oil if the volume of 1800 kilogram of coconut oil is 2 cubic meters. Easy. Cannot the calculation, right? The value is 900 kilograms per cubic meter. 900 kilograms per cubic meter. That's the answer, right? But I'll show you when something like this is given, you should follow this method, right? Don't just put the answer there, right? Density, rho kilogram. Let's put rho. Mass divided by volume. This is equation. Then application. Then final answer. Then the final answer. In the next one, that diagram, and there are some, what do you say? Problems, a hand drawn, right? A is sclerotic layer, B retina, C is yellow spot, D is the blind spot, E is the problem. E should be the optic nerve. Optic nerve, right? E hadagan, optic nerve. F cornea, G ciliary muscle, H optic lens, right? Oh, eye lens. Sorry, optic lens. Optic lens. Sorry, eye lens. Optic nerve. Eye lens. Eye lens. I named all the parts, right? G, H, even I. What is the place of the retina in which clear image is formed by the light enters to the eye? A clear image is formed in the yellow spot. That means that they are asking is what is the place where the light is focused? Yellow spot. Identify the structure named as H and its functions how the function was given in the book, focusing the light to the retina, focusing the light to the retina, focus color. State the letter of the structure which controls the amount of light that enters to the G is not ciliary muscle. So G should be what is the structure which controls the amount of light which falls into the eye? Camera what is that part? That is iris, right? So it should be changed. Sorry. Right. Any question? With that one, small change occurred, right? Change the small part. No question. Iris. I saw that just like ciliary muscle, iris, right? Name two eye diseases. Name two eye diseases. What do you do? Okay, defects of the eye and diseases of the eye, you take it wrong. Right? Cataract and glaucoma are the answers. Eye diseases. Cataract and glaucoma are long sightedness and short sightedness are called defects of the eye. Defects, right? I think not a huge difference. Right, right. I'm just waiting for your answers, right? If there's any question. Third part means third part. Complete the following ray diagrams of any complete curve, right? Dots. Dots the focus එක දෙකු. කමක් නැහැ. Ray diagram. I know, right. If the light enters the center, so it should be going like this. This ray enters from the center, right? If it was entering from here, should be going like this. This. So this is convex lens. Concave lens. These things are really important. Grade 11 also, that means O level. If parallel light falls on this one, this diverges. Right. Match the part A, B, and state. Oh, right. 10 are going to follow, right? It is in 2 pages, so it's really difficult for me to see complete. Until I minimize this one. First answer C, third part, first answer C. Right? Third part, first answer. Right? Third part means third part. Identify the structure named as H and state its function. Wait. Eye lens second. Eye lens is focusing the light to the retina. It's a problem. Make it over here. I don't. You're putting the answer. Genes of bacteria muted in Siamese genome to produce toxin to crop pests. Right. That should be genes of Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis. First one C. I'll write it, right? First one C. Number 2. Photosynthetic protozoa containing chlorophyll algae. Algae find somewhere the algae. Euglena. Protozoa, sorry. Protozoa. Algae and protozoa. Number 2. Euglena. Euglena. Number 2. H. Number 3. Right? I'm scrolling down 2 pages. A bacteria important for the production of biogas, Methanococcus. Methane is biogas. That is how you remember. Methanococcus. That is B. 4. A structure of the eye which contributes for maintaining the equilibrium. This is a structure of the ear vein only. Semicircular canals. Structure of the ear it should be, right? It's not in semicircular canals. Eye again, right? Semicircular canals. Fourth one answer is G, but change that part. Ear. Semicircular canals are in the ear. G. Fifth one. Chemical compound in vinegar which contains CHO. acid. Acetic acid is there. J. Sixth one. This mentioned method is used to separate various fuels from crude oil. Fractional distillation. Again, the method is described in grade 11, third lesson. Now only the name is that one, right? Fractional distillation answer is I. These are just given names, right? Only the names are given for you. An example for vector quantity. Vector quantity means a quantity which has direction and also a magnitude. Force K. An example for heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture means the mixture which is not homogeneous. Homogeneous means composition is equal. So heterogeneous mixture means a mixture where which composition is unequal. Composition is not uniform throughout the mixture. Ice cream. Ice cream. The answer F. Ninth one. An example for vector. Sorry. Seventh one. Sixth one. This method is used to separate various crude oil. Sixth one. Sorry. Sixth one. I have. Seventh one. Seventh one is ice cream. So eighth one key. Eighth one. Eighth one misnomer. The total number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus is stated as right? Mass number. E. Make it a key. X. Two or more pure substances combine to form a compound. That's the compound. Mixtures with the sorry, mixtures. Elements kill everything, so mixtures. Right? B. So what happened to Loris? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 11. Loris is not an answer for anything. Yeah, I also missed it. It is in 2 pages in the model. This is the final answer. Loris is not an answer for anything, right? They don't know. There is 11th one. An animal with both binocular and stereoscopic vision. There is Loris. Right? A. 11. Give me a second. Huh? Good. If your all answers are correct, right? Which one? Fourth one, question number 4. What do you mean by pressure? Pressure defined from again equation. I have drawn the equation previous. I have written the equation previous time, right? The amount of force applied on a unit area. amount of force applied to the unit area. Write down I code. Kodakin lamai. Write down the word equation for the pressure. Pressure, since I did it, I'm not going to rewrite. Pressure equals force applied, force, that's enough, divided by the area. If there was a pressure 50 Pascal due to a perpendicular force of, then only under normal, right? I'm going to write it now. My pen. Right. Word equation means you should write the whole thing. Pressure equals like this, right? When you apply P equals F divided by A, 50. I'm going to write it newtons per square meter. Calculate the perpendicular force, right? F is the question. 2.5 m square. F equals 50 to 2.5. That means 125 newton. Cross multiplication. Now this is mathematics. When you cross multiply, m squared gets cancelled off for per m squared. You have maths, right? This is mathematics. Right. Cross. This is called cross multiplication. You should know this. Yeah. Right. All right. The force exerted over unit area. Good. Video clear the bunne? Write down 2 instances of increasing the pressure in our day-to-day life. Sharpening knives. What are the answers that you have written? Any 2 answers, right? In day-to-day lives, right? Sharpening the edge of pigs, sharpening the point of needles, sharpening the points of nails. What of examples are there? You can write any. Right? Write down to instead decreasing pressure using flat tires, using flat straps for bags, right? Using plank, wooden plank to walk over muddy area. What of examples are there? Pushing the vehicle stuck. What is that? No. To which finger more pain caused when the pencil is held by 2 fingers as shown in the diagram given below? Briefly explain the reason. To finger, why? The reason is why. What is the reason? If you put it like this, a good example, right? The pressure created on the finger Y is high. The pressure created on the finger Y is high due to the lower surface area at the pencil tip. Due to the lower pencil area at the pencil tip. Area is high. Right? Finger is wide because the pressure is high. I'll make that feature, right? Right? From that feature to talk to the students. Still the feature is there, but small problems occur with the microphone. Tomorrow I'm going to fix that. That means from the next class onwards, you will be getting that opportunity. So now, Mangara Karapikatino, right? I can Mangara Kalinkara next one. Question number 5. A, number 1, A is, what is that? Blood, just blood. B, plasma, corpuscles. White blood cells. C, RBC, red blood cells, platelets. D, things soluble in water, things insoluble in water. D, what did you take? Classify water tama වෙන්න ඕන right? D water වෙන්න ඕනේ බලන්න water තියෙනවද කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ පොතේ දාලා right? එයා logically ගන්න ඕන එකක්. Whether they have yeah, water. Right. Same thing is given, water. D is water. It is given into. Write down 2 functions of blood. Lot of functions are there, right? It helps for the transportation. Lot of other functions are there. Transportation of respiratory gases, transportation of nutrients, transportation of unwanted materials. Right? Any 2 functions are accepted. Write down 2 differences between arteries and veins. Arteries, what do? Take blood away from the heart. Veins take blood to the heart. Arteries contain wall. Wall of the arteries are thick. Wall of the veins are not thick, right? Because they carry the blood in low pressures. Can't hear me properly. Signal is at full strength. Your signal, right? My signal, yeah. Even the microphone is working here. Everything is okay, right? Yeah, signal is at the highest. Do the others also have this one? Others? Anyone else have this problem? No, yeah. Few of you have means it's a problem of your device, right? Now, yeah. State universal donor and the universal acceptor, universal recipient AB, universal donor O, right? What is known as blood transfusion? Blood transfusion, giving blood from one person to another person, but right? Matching blood groups. So, giving the matching blood from one person to another person, right? Blood transfusion. Mention 2 favorable habits to have a good circulatory system. Lot of habits are there, right? Eating healthy food, right? Doing exercises, avoiding from tobacco and alcohol, right? Likewise, avoiding from fast food. Name 2 blood vessels connect to the right ventricle of the heart. We have drawn the whole heart. I'm going to do again, right? Right ventricle means millimeter, right? Name 2 blood vessels connected to the right ventricle of the heart. Right? Atrium කියලා atrium should be like atrium. Ventricle කිව්වොත් නේ only 1 starts, right? That is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Yeah, transfer of blood from one individual to another individual, not easy, but blood groups should be matching, right? A model is given, yeah, it's muscles, right? What happens when elastic A band contracts without moving the wooden plank? Elastic A contracted, when the elastic, it acts as the bicep muscle, right? When it contracts, the wooden plank moves up, right? What happens when the band B contracts without moving the wooden plank? The wooden plank moves down. It acts as the tricep muscle, right? Ah, yeah, okay. You can rejoin. No problem. If there is any problem, you can request me for the video later, right? What happens when bicep muscle is contracted? When the bicep muscle is contracted, the lower hand is moved up. Lower hand. What happens when the tricep muscle is contracted? The lower hand is moved down. Write down the growth substances that is used to destroy weed in broadleaves. Right? How did you write this? Did you just write that as artificial growth substance? Did you write this 2,4-DP, 2,4-DPA? The best way is to write 2,4-DPA or 2,4-DP, right? Just 2,4-D or 2,4-DP. Name an artificial growth substance that is used to induce the root formation of stem cuttings, right? IAA, indole acetic acid, IBA, indole butyric acid. All right, well, number 6. Number 6 question. What is the question? Choices for the question. Write down the examples for a positive phototrophic movement. Positive phototrophic means growing towards light. Example, plant shoot grows towards the sun. Write down appendages used by the following animals in their locomotion. Amoeba, false feet. What do we call the false feet? Because the last number, right? Even in eating amoeba, use that one. Done, right? Euglena, one single tail-like structure. Flagella, amoeba. Pseudopodia, right? P is silent. Pseudopodia. Paramecium use the short form of this. Cilia. Dolphin. What did you write? Fins. Fill the blank. There are 3 main types of biodiversity. The diversity among the species is known as species diversity. Species diversity, highlight covered. The differences among the organisms within the same species is known as genetical diversity or gene diversity. Number 2, gene diversity. Biodiversity reduces right? Competition reduces competition, because for food sources, biodiversity means they depend on different food, so no problem of finding food. Habitats, no problem, due to diversity they are in different habitats. Biodiversity reduces the competition for food, shelter, everything, right? Now, global warming has caused the extinction of cow. Ozone layer, mammoth, Kandapan, extinction of food, definitely should be an animal. Was it given as Gadapana plant in Dipalmo? No. Manawa fish not due to the global warming. Let's keep it there. Right? Introduction of invasive plant on Ekatama Gadapana. Right? Has an invasive animal, Manawa fish. Manawa fish can be considered as a threat to biodiversity. Next one, environmental problems such as global warming and depletion of ozone layer. Seventh one, depletion of ozone layer can be considered as environment factors that affect the biodiversity damage. Flow of energy in an ecosystem occurs in unidirectional energy flows unidirectional, right? That flows for one side. Energy flows come from sunlight, right? Through food chains unidirectional. Cyclic matter flows in a cyclic manner, right? Energy flows unidirectionally, one direction. Matter is cyclic. That is how the things go, right? Now, flow of energy from and materials are cyclic, right? Stunt trees with twisted stems are found in montane forests. That was a characteristic of montane forests, right? A rural urban environment where man has established its habitat is known as settlement environment. So the only answer that is mammoth I say due to global warming, the answer should be mammoth. That is the final answer that is remaining. If you get such thing, right? If you get such selection, if you feel something is not sure, so just keep it there. Then fill the others. Then final few answers will be left over. From those left answers, you can pick a good answer. Right? That is how the things go. That's why I have kept it there and wait with the. You keep on thinking about that one, time gets wasted. Just go with the flow. Right. So with that, we have finished the paper. Any question with the paper? Tell me your marks. Marks were given there. How about the marks? 8, 8, 9. When you're asking like that, 8 unidirectional, 9 cyclic, 8 unidirectional. Very good. 84. Good. How about the others? 86. Good. So with that, we are going to finish. So if not, we are going to finish the session. Good. Marks. So you are good, right? So from the next class onwards, again the theory parts will be conducted. Just like I told you, October. Somehow your grade 10 session starts in December, right? Otherwise, it's really difficult for us to carry up, right? Good. Very good. Right. So do as I said, upload the PDFs of your answers. Answers discuss. Right? Okay. When you're uploading your payment information, upload, try to upload non-PDF version. PDFs cannot be uploaded, right? Okay. 7.17. 7 points. Seventh question, seventh one. Ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion. 7.7. Right? So with that, I'm going to wind up the session. Right? Okay, then thank you very much and have a good night. Keep in mind the things that I told. Right?